Peggy 18.
Hello and welcome to another 1.4 version of Stardew Valley here on your Professional Walkthroughs channel. Well, today we are gonna go through our Saturday. I'm gonna have to put down the scarecrow because I'm terrified that the kale is being eaten by the crows. But before that happens, we have a pleasant visit from Clint. And like that, we have learned how to craft a furnace. Thanks, bud. So lucky enough for me, there is not a single crow eating my crops. What however is bad is that I once again picked up only one additional gold star parsnip, meaning once again I will be forced to plant more parsnips. Luckily enough for me, parsnips are not the most expensive crops. And here we have our first quest from Marlon about slaying the slimes in the mines. This is one of the tips about building a well on our farm from Robin. However, due to the fact that we have small bodies of water in each of the segments of the four-corner map, I will not go and build a well on my farm. I will water the crops. I will go purchase the seeds from Pierre. I will go check on the forest to see if there is potentially some forageable items like spring onions or anything else. I will definitely build the furnace today and start smelting some bars, for which I will also go to the small corner of our farm where I will be able to get my hands on one really cool thing, and that is additional copper ore. So let's build the furnace so that we have at least one of these quests fulfilled. And if I want to smelt my first copper bar, I require 1 coal, 5 ore. So I can smelt the remaining copper available to me into 3 additional copper bars. But right now I want to go get my hands on more of that copper which is available to me. And if I will come across any maples, I'm gonna most likely chop those down, just due to the fact that I am missing the maple seeds, and if I will have those, I am able to make the field snack. So I've only managed to pick up one, which is unfortunate, but I'm coming across some mixed seeds and stuff, so that's cool. So overall on my farm, I managed to start off with 1 geode and 3 copper ore nodes. So that's gonna be worth at least something. Especially if each of these would give me 3 copper, that would be super cool. And we actually managed to come across the treasure worms, but the coal out of them is actually useful. So when it comes to this kind of an area, you need to keep in mind that the game will be spawning items. But if your entire area is filled in with basically just something like rocks, then you have no area for anything more valuable to spawn. And also you need to keep in mind that the more valuable items like minerals or some mineral nodes or just about anything of more value which you can get your hands on is much lesser chance for it to spawn, and therefore it might take you years to actually see like a gold node on the small patch of land, and by that time you usually are having a sufficient amount of gold in your inventory because you are going into the mines on a regular base. That is, if you want to, of course, upgrade your tools. It's much better to work with the upgraded tools. Okay, so I have most likely used up a ton of my energy here. So I'm kind of happy about the fact that I will be able to do this. Actually, I have even more maple in my inventory now. So I will be able to craft more of these snacks. So I will have sufficient amount of energy for the rest of my day. So we have our first copper bar. Now I'm gonna plant the mixed seeds in here. So that's 1 potato, 1 parsnip based on what I see over here. That's great. But what I need to do actually is get more wood because I require 50 in order to build the scarecrow. And I'm also gonna require fiber and coal. So I'm gonna head to this corner of the map, chop down one of these pines, and therefore I will have sufficient amount of resources to protect my harvest. I'm gonna chop down these branches as well. Get my hands on a bit more fiber. And where in the world is our dog, I would wonder. Right now it would be much harder to keep a track of him because he has just so much space to roam and basically protect. I'm not sure what he's gonna be doing throughout his days, but that's not my thing to wonder about because we are still gonna be busy for the rest of the day. So what am I gonna do here? I'm gonna drop off the axe, the scythe. I'm gonna take these 4 things. I'm gonna make more of the field snacks. So 1 will be enough for now, or should I need more? You know what, let's not be stingy with these. It's a good source of energy, so I'm gonna go with it. We have received money for the advancement. Usually good idea to take a look around this area. This is usually a place where I tend to have tappers installed on the 2 oaks and 2 maples. 1,700 gold is what I'm working with. Let's see what's the quest. 15 copper ores for inspection, Clint. Yeah, sure. Let's try and go with that. Tomorrow will be Lewis's birthday. Let's go purchase some seeds. I don't want to go too crazy with the seeds because obviously I need to keep in mind that I want to get my hands on the backpack upgrade. 6 days, 6 days. And I also want to take a look at one more thing. Let's go like this. So in the previous episode I covered the use of the training rod. And that was fun. It's not too much for me as I have spent hours and hours fishing in the game, so I kind of have the necessary talents or skills to pull that off. But what I did not take a look at is how much energy do you use when you cast the training rod. So that is something that I definitely want to cover in here. So we know that if I would to use the bamboo pole and I would cast, it will cost me 7 energy. So I'm interested to see how much energy will it cost me to cast the training rod. Because you can only obtain basic quality fish with the training rod. So you cannot get more energy return based on what you catch. Now let's take a look. 25, we are gonna cast the training rod. Okay. So we went from 25 to 17. That actually means that we are using more energy while using the training rod. So that's interesting. And as we are using the training rod, obviously, I'm not gonna get the higher value of fish. And I'm not sure if I'm getting more of the treasure chest with the training rod just because it's a lucky day, or I'm not sure. I mean, I'm getting both the treasures for either when I use the bamboo pole or the training rod, so it's hard to tell right now. Okay, now what do I want to take with me that I know I'm gonna be selling at my farm? So I'm definitely taking this. I can take the wood. I can eat the 2 spring onions. What the funk just happened? I'm gonna eat the 2 spring onions. I'm gonna head back to my farm. And I'm gonna plant my crops. And after that, I'm gonna head into the mines. I'm gonna be able to smelt more copper bars. But if I have sufficient amount of them, I need to bring 15 to Clint. So hopefully I do have 15 of them. It's 410, so he has closed his shop. So I cannot give him another, or I cannot find him basically at his store. So most likely I will find him in the evening at Gus's tavern. So that's where I'm gonna look for him. Hopefully he's gonna be there. Okay, so let's go ahead and sell the fish. Drop off the wood. Take the copper bar. Now let's see how much do we have. 13, damn it. So I will definitely need to make a mining run in order to get my hands on more copper. Therefore, I'm gonna do this. I'm still gonna be forced to get more copper. So the reason why I'm actually deciding to go with 1 more copper bar is so that I have access to 4 of them. This is due to the fact that if I go with either the tappers or if I would decide to go with the fishing perk of cheaper construction for crab pots, which would require 2 copper bars as well, I will have at least sufficient amount for either 2 tappers or 2 crab pots. Now the crab pots, I would rather have more copper stored so that I would make a bunch of them in one massive construction, and that is due to the fact that if I would put down 2 crab pots, I'm more likely to get broken glasses and trash out of them rather than to get my hands on something more valuable. Okay, so I'm gonna plant these 2 over here. And now to decide in which direction do I want to expand my farming. I'm thinking in this way. However, this might cause additional issue. That is due to the fact that the scarecrow covers only 8 slots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So everything here is no longer being protected. So I would require actually additional scarecrow in order to keep my potatoes and parsnips safe from the crows. Energy-wise, we are fine. But I do not possess enough wood to make another scarecrow. I'm gonna have to chop down more trees. Or just basically go and chop down the branches that are all over the floor. Because my farm is still a bit of a mess. So the hoe is... I can keep it in order to extract some of the seeds from the ground. I'm gonna actually plant the 1 more parsnip in here. Just so that all the seeds have been planted at the same time. How are we looking at our... Okay, so we have 1 acorn, 11 pine cones, 0 maple seeds. Okay. So maple and oak would be my priority. Now here I do see 2 maples and even an oak. So let's see if I will have sufficient amount of energy to chop down at least 1 and 1. And yeah, I know I do not have to chop down the stump. Damn it, I knew I should have brought the scythe. So 19 energy left. This is our oak. Okay, so now I actually don't have to chop it down. Or do I? Due to the scarecrow requirement. Let's see. If I take this, I can make a field snack, which I can devour because I'm desperate for energy. I still require, however, some wood, so okay. And I still have time, even though it's getting super extremely late, to go into the mines. That's the wrong tool. Let's all pretend you just did not see me do that. This time I'm not gonna go for the stomp, I'm gonna leave it as it is. Man, this farm is a mess. I'm gonna pick up some fiber as well, as we are gonna burn through our reserves today. So second scarecrow will be placed somewhere along here. I still do not have any more maple seeds, which is problematic. I am super low on wood, but my crops are covered. So what can I potentially do for energy? I can eat the dandelion. I can drop off the axe, the scythe, the hoe. Now I'm gonna head into the mines. I'm not gonna pull off anything miraculous with the limited amount of time that I have, was I have to keep in mind that it's gonna take me time to get to the mines, and I see 2 freaking treasure worms over here, so I'm taking the hoe. So potentially I'm not even gonna make it to the mines now. And I know, if I would come here the next day, they can still be there, but let's just go like this. Gold star quality leak. Okay, that's a great source of energy. 72. So next day, that is, if I would run out of energy chopping down trees or something, I would actually get a decent source of energy out of this. So I really want to tempt it and head into the mines and see if I can get my hands on some ore. Well, I'm doing it, so you never know. I have 50 energy left. There's gonna be probably 12 by the time I get there, so I have like 1 in-game hour to look for just about any resemblance of ore. This is not good. Any ore, any copper ore. It's a lucky day, okay? These I'm gonna leave with 1 amethyst. Even breaking apart these rocks is useful, as I can come across something useful. Okay, 1 copper. It's pretty horrendous. I have 14 energy left. Is there any copper whatsoever? There are slimes. There are other creepy crawlies. 2 barrels I'm gonna break apart. And yeah, this long shaft with the minecart filled with coal at the end is a great level, but it's 110, so I'm heading back home. And I think I can actually sell the amethyst and the topaz, because I should have those in my inventory. Therefore, I'm gonna earn at least some sort of money. I'm gonna keep the leak for the 2nd day, or I'm not even gonna make it into the collection box. I'm gonna have to rush into the bed. That is, if I'm gonna even make it to my cottage. Well, okay, the good news is that I leveled up my farming. Bad news is I fell asleep in front of my house. Probably the issue was caused due to me chasing after the hoe and then going into the mines. But I wanted to get at least something out of the day. Now, my worry is that on the next episode, I will be charged for being saved by someone, so that's gonna cut into my money. But for that, you will have to tune in for the next episode, and hopefully, I will see you next time. And in the meantime, try and check out the channel. Maybe you're gonna find something else which you enjoyed that I have managed to cover so far. But until the future episode is uploaded, I wish you all the best and goodbye.